A swarm of AI agents just rebuilt SQLite, say SQLite, from scratch. No source code, no test suite, no internet, just the 835-page manual. It passed 100% of a held-out test suite. And here is the part that should change how you work this week. The cheapest run beat the most expensive one by 15 times on cost for the same passing result. The winner was not a smarter model. It was a smarter way to split the work. This is Mainframe, your daily guide through the AI chaos. What actually happened, who is winning, and how to take yourself to the next level. It is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. I am Nova.
And I am Dex. Here is the rundown.
On today's Mainframe, Cursor pointed an agent swarm at SQLite's manual and published the bill. And that bill tells you your model spend is mostly a decomposition problem, not a model problem. Claude's team plan just dropped to a 2-person minimum. More usage than Pro, cheaper than a Max 5X seat. So if you and one collaborator keep slamming into Pro's ceiling, your cheapest upgrade changed today. Claude Conway, Anthropic's always-on agent, goes dark Friday, and that probably means the public version is close. And the biggest copyright settlement in United States history got signed, quietly setting the price of the data inside every model you touch. Let's get into it. One honest note before the board. Our voices here are AI. The reporting, the pics, and the opinions are human-made, ours. Now, the board, quick. A federal judge approved Anthropic's $1.5 billion settlement with authors on July 20th, the largest copyright class settlement in United States history, roughly $3,000 per book across about 7 million works pulled from pirate libraries. Dex, why does a lawsuit settlement touch a builder's keyboard?
Because it puts a real price tag on training data. License data was theoretically expensive before. Now it is a line item with a court order behind it. That cost gets baked into the sticker of every future frontier model made the clean way.
Right. And the open weight models that trained the same way, offshore, just picked up a structural cost edge. The floor under your bill has 2 inputs now, what the data costs to license and how well you structure the work on top of it, which is exactly today's lead. Keep your options open. Do not marry one vendor's number. Brought to you by Outpace. Here is a picture that fits today. An agent swarm did the SQLite work, but somebody designed the swarm. That is Outpace. A senior operator who spent 30 years building real businesses, real estate, hospitality, food, even a theater, now aims a whole team of AI agents at one client's project at a time. Strategy to ship. Outpace is a system, not a freelancer and not a faceless agency. The agents do the work. One operator directs the fleet, and you own the code and the keys at the end. When frontier capability changes hands every Sunday, you want someone driving the whole fleet, not renting you one seat. Book a 30-minute call at outpace.media. That is outpace.media.
So let's do the swarm properly. What actually shipped?
Cursor published a piece called Agent Swarms and the New Model Economics on July 20th, and they put the codebase on GitHub. They gave a swarm of agents, nothing but SQLite's manual, 835 pages, no source, no tests, no internet, and out came a working Rust replica that passed a held-out SQL logic test suite, millions of queries with known answers, 100%. Andrew Curran carried it, Alpha Signal and the decoder ran it down. But the architecture is the gold. Planner agents run on the smartest model, decompose the goal into a tree, and never write a line of code. Worker agents run on a cheap model, pick up a leaf task, execute it, push, and never plan.
And the cost spread?
This is the number to tattoo on your monitor. Opus 4.8 planning, with Composer 2.5 doing the work. $1,339 total, and the entire worker fleet was just 411 of that. Run everything on GPT 5.5 instead, $10,565. An informal all-Fable 5 run, $20,057. Same task, same passing result. 15 times the cost, decided entirely by who you put on planning versus grunt work. The move is not go by cursor. The move is the shape. Frontier model on planning only, cheap models on execution, and a held-out test as the judge.
Second story, the wallet one, the team plan.
Anthropic dropped the Claude Team plan minimum from 5 seats to 2. TestingCatalog flagged it, and it is confirmed in Anthropic's own docs. A standard seat is $20 a month on annual billing and gives you 1.25 times Pro's usage. A premium seat is $100 and gives you 6.25 times Pro. So 2 standard seats, $40 a month, is more usage than Pro and cheaper than a single Max 5X seat, and you get shared projects on top. This one is a straight win, not a stake. If you and a collaborator both keep bumping Pro's weekly ceiling, the 2-seat team plan is now your cheapest headroom upgrade. Reprice it today.
And Conway.
TestingCatalog reports. Anthropic is cutting internal access to Claude Conway this Friday, July 24th at 5 p.m. Pacific and telling testers to export their data. Conway is the always-on remote Claude that lives in a dedicated container, wakes on webhooks, and drives connectors. 2 readings. They killed it, or they are graduating it to public preview. Given Anthropic just added projects and cloud sessions to Claude Code, I lean hard toward preview. The move. Watch anthropic.com/news this week. If you have leaned on Cowork's cloud scheduling, a public always-on container agent is the obvious next tier, and you want to be first in line.
Tool Lab.
Pick one is a technique, and it is the most valuable thing on the show today. The planner-worker swarm split, worked out and documented by the Cursor team. You do not need their product to run it. In Claude Code, define one subagent as the planner. Its whole job is to read the spec, break the goal into a tree of small tasks, and delegate, never to write code. Define worker subagents on a cheaper model, Sonnet 5 or Kimi K3, whose only job is to complete one leaf and push. Then, and this is the load-bearing part, grade every worker's output against a held-out test the workers never saw while building. That structure is what turned a $20,000 job into a $1,300 one. The code is on GitHub off the Cursor blog if you want a reference harness to copy. Pick 2, a hidden gem for anyone who ships visuals. Dream 5.0 Pro on Byte plus Lumina. Most Western builders slept on this. It is not one-shot image generation. It does editable design. Layer separation splits a poster into text, subject, background, and decorations as separate assets, and you edit a specific region with point, lasso, or box selection instead of regenerating the whole thing across 14 languages. Surfaced this week by Kim Anismus and Min Choi. First step, drop one marketing asset in, select just the headline and change it. Keep everything else pixel locked. It replaces a round trip to a designer for the small stuff.
Use cases, existing tools, run them this week.
1. Swarm on a budget. Tonight, take one real feature and run the planner worker split in Claude Code, Frontier plans, cheap model executes, a test suite grades before anything merges. You do not need SQLite scale ambition to capture the 15 times spread. 2. Rebuild from the manual, small, pick the one gnarly library function you keep fighting, point an agent at that library's official docs with no source, and have it re-implement just that function graded against your existing tests. You get a dependency-light version you actually understand. Credit the Cursor method. 3. The team plan reprice. If you are a solo builder plus one collaborator, both maxing Pro, switch to the 2-seat team plan today. $40 a month, more usage, shared projects. Stop paying 2 Pro seats to hit 2 ceilings. Brought to you by SearchViz, also an Outpace media product. Mainframe tells you what shipped. SearchViz makes sure the models know what you shipped. When a buyer asks Claude, ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Google's AI overviews for the best tool in your category, the model names you or it names your competitor, and if it does not name you, you do not exist to that buyer. SearchViz tracks whether the answer engines cite your brand across every engine, tells you why, and hands you the exact move to publish to win the citation. Check where you stand and start free at searchvis.outpace.media. That is searchvis.outpace.media. Be the answer.
Deep dive. Land the one idea.
Here it is. Decomposition is the new moat. Look at what actually moved that bill from $20,000 to $1,300. It was not a better model. It was an org chart, a planner that never touches code, a worker that never plans, and a grader that says done or not done. Intelligence is the commodity now. 6 vendors clear the bar that 2 cleared in June. But the structure you wrap around that intelligence, how you split the task and how you verify it, that is not something you rent from a lab. It is something you own, and it survives every model that ships next Tuesday. Most builders are still shopping for the smartest model. The edge is in becoming the manager who assigns it well. So here is what I would actually do. This week, take your single biggest task, and before you write any prompt, write the test that defines done. Then split planning from execution, frontier on the plan, cheap on the work. You will spend less and trust the output more because for the first time, the agent has to prove it, not just narrate it.
Close us.
Level up this week. Run one planner worker split in Claude code on a real task, frontier model plans, a cheap model executes, and a held-out test grades it before it merges. That single habit outlasts every model on the leaderboard. And if you want every story, number, and link from today in your inbox each morning, subscribe to the free Mainframe newsletter. It is the written brief, no fluff. That is the show. I am Nova.
And I am Dex. Design the swarm. See you tomorrow.